Hey, this is Jim Tuck. We're down here at Lake Toho for our first FOW tour event. And there's a lot of baits that are going to work in this tournament. You know, the big easy swim bait's going to really dominate, I think. A lot of punching, some top waters and things. But a lure that doesn't get a lot of recognition these days is the gambler Sweebo worm. You know, it's like a type of trick worm type deal. I've got this one rigged, Texas rig, with a 3/16 weight. Pretty simple. It's a very subtle lure. It works really good in Florida. I'm Texas rigging it, just making long casts and fishing through some scattered hydrilla or even through some scattered reeds and stuff like that. But there's a lot of different ways to fish this bait. Obviously, this is Texas rig. Several years ago, a friend of mine across Swayback, he was leading on day one down here. He actually threw the Sweebo worm, which is named after him, wacky style, and just basically is taking that thing, hooking it right in the middle with no weight on it. It's a very, very slow way to fish, but it's very methodical. Catches some really big fish. I actually caught a bunch of fish down at Lake Amistad the other day, Texas rigging this little Sweebo worm. Something about it's just real subtle. I don't know if it's you know, it's the lack of action that makes it work, but there's a lot of ways to rig it. I noticed during practice I saw some guys that had a small, short Carolina rig with this very same worm on here, about a 10 or 12 inch leader on there. It appears to work really good. But and then you got, I don't know if it's going to set up here in Florida, but back home we take this same exact weight or same exact bait with no weight at all and actually fish it like the old, you know, float worm, which doesn't get a lot of recognition these days, but it still catches some really big fish. So the Sweebo worm is a good way to fish. You know, a lot of various techniques with it, and you know, these color June bug red work really good down here in Florida, but they work other places as well. So, you know, if you get a chance, it's something to try. A lot of different ways to fish it. It'll catch some really big fish too.